All right. Hey, everyone. Welcome, welcome. We appreciate y'all joining us. Thank you for coming out this evening to kick off our Black History Month special, to kick off Black History Month, right, with our big Montgomery energy and to keep things going. Hey, happy Martin Luther King Day to you all. So hopefully you've been enjoying yourself and we can have a pretty good conversation this evening. Do me a favor and let me know who is with us this evening. Let me know where you're watching from. I am in the south suburbs of Chicago, Illinois. Why do I keep-
I'm Brenda Steele, and I'm from Cleveland, Ohio.
Hello, Brenda. How you doing today? Appreciate you joining us this evening.
Fine, thank you. 12 degrees here, so.
Well, that should have been my question. What's the temperature? We are 0 degrees here outside of Chicago.
Oh, you got us beat.
Yeah, unfortunately, right? That's good. Thank you, Brenda. I appreciate that, sister. All right. I see O'Fallon. I see Detroit Metro is here. San Antonio. We're all over the place. North Carolina. Maryland's in the building. Houston, don't be flossing your temperature. We don't. I don't think we want to see that, right? I appreciate y'all engaging us this evening. Let's have a good time and a good conversation, I think, should come out of this as well. We are here talking about keeping the big Montgomery energy going. This is our urban intellectuals movement into pushing Black History Month, right? This is kind of our kickoff. I see Michigan's in the building. Go Blue. Right, we got national championship out of the University of Michigan. I'm from Michigan originally. I don't know if y'all probably don't know that. But yeah, I'm from outside Detroit. So yeah, I am definitely a Michigan fan. Appreciate y'all joining us. Hey, do me a favor. Let me know in the comments. Give me a 0 in the comments if you've never seen myself, Urban Intellectuals, or anything that we do. Give me a 1 in the comments if you're familiar with us under some capacity, right? If you for my ones, you can also let me know how are you familiar with us. Okay, a lot of zeros out there. Good, good. Hey, welcome to Urban Intellectuals, my people. I appreciate y'all. And welcome back. Egypt in 3 weeks. That's what I'm talking about, Gary. Yeah. You about to have an experience of a lifetime. Good brother. I appreciate that. It's one from Seattle. Bought the flashcards. Oh, excellent. I appreciate y'all. And we're gonna have a good time tonight. Yeah, okay. 0 Facebook. All right. I'm assuming you saw an ad or you saw a link to this on Facebook or you signed up. Cincinnati, Ohio. Hey Sheila, how you doing? Thank you, Teresa. Thank you all of y'all for joining us this evening. Dr. K, Math Genius. All right, the Black Math Genius program. Yes, that is part of what we do here at Urban Intellectuals. Sankofa Club membership, Black Math Genius. I love it. Flashcards. Yeah. All right, my people is in the building. And we got some new people in here. So y'all behave now. So we can make a good impression on the new folks around here. But no, I appreciate y'all joining us this evening. I won't take up too much of your time, or at least I'll try not to. I think I felt the side eye from from the Urban Intellectuals team. I want to give a quick shout out to Sister Jasmine that is working the comments out there with y'all, helping to keep me intact and on pace, right? So this is definitely a team effort. Yeah, thank you, Jasmine. Yeah, email newsletter. All right, I appreciate that. Pro Homes playing cards, order them from Facebook. I love it. And we delivered, right? That's an important part of the saying, right? All right, so I'm going to share my screen just so we can move the night along because I love engaging and talking with y'all. I could do this all day, to be honest with you. Two, I have followed you for over a year on Facebook and purchased educational materials for my children. I plan to go to Ghana this year. Norfolk, Virginia. All right. Appreciate you for sharing that and for coming out and engaging with us. That is beautiful. All right. I am trying to get this together. Bang. All right. Let's have a good time tonight. I appreciate y'all participating in the comments. I'll be asking for that throughout. We're in this modern day Zoom atmosphere. It's kind of hard to gauge the audience. So I like to sometimes have some call and response and to get your responses in the comments. So I appreciate that. I promise at the end of all of this, we'll have a Q&A. So any questions that you have, please let us know. You can drop them in the comments. We'll be following along and saving them, and then I'll follow up. But all right, let me know if you can see my screen. You should see welcome to Urban Intellectuals. Hopefully that is what you see. Give me a yes in the comments if you can see that. I think we should be all good. Yes. All right. Appreciate that. Got my yeses flowing, got my participation going. Let's kick it off and keep this big Montgomery energy going, right? This is what we are talking about this month here at Urban Intellectuals to kick off our Black History Month. First of all, I did mention it earlier, but let me say happy Martin Luther King Day, King Jr. Day to all of you. I love this brother for what he did because of how courageous he is. Y'all know how young he passed, right? No. He didn't pass. Excuse my language. Language is important, right? How young he was murdered, right? He was murdered because of wanting more for people that look like you and I, right? But the courageousness of this brother is unbelievable. But I love to show him assassinated. Yeah, right? Deliberate. This was intentional, a conspiracy to get rid of this brother. But I love to show him in unconventional ways, right? We see he's always in the suit, right? But you typically see him giving a speech or something. I love these unconventional pictures because it reminds us that he was just a person and he enjoyed having fun. I love to see him smiling and laughing. I love to see him with his children when they were growing up. I love to see him at the dining room table with his family. I love to see him just giggling. I just love to see that brother showing the other sides of him because there was many and much to him, right? And he was taken far too soon. So happy King Day, King Holiday, Electra. Appreciate that. But yeah, so I wanted to show, I wanted to pay homage to the brother, and especially particularly on his day. And just what a day to kick off Black History Month, which should be Black History Year, but I'll let you slide for at least a moment. Let me at least get halfway through my presentation, right? I want you to remember to stick around to the end because we're giving away a trip to Africa, right? Give me Africa in the comments if you're interested in winning a free trip to the motherland, right? And I'm giggling because I see this picture here and this was like a placeholder. I didn't really mean to include this in the presentation, but this is when I met Magic Johnson a little while ago. I had to tell him when I was 12 years old, I was 6'5", and if I'd have met him then, I would have dunked on him, right? Excuse me for being a little facetious like Cat Williams, right? Y'all accept it with Cat Williams, but please, you better believe I used to be 6'5", right? All right, Africa, yes, yeah. How many tickets? Oh, I love it, Sonic. Yeah, okay. But a good moment there meeting Magic. But yeah, so stick around to the end, and I promise I'm going to show you how you can win a free trip to Africa with us. But first, let me give you a little bit of glimpse of what we're talking about. What an experience lies on the other side of the Atlantic for some lucky person of our free trip to Africa. But let's bring it all the way back and talk about this big Montgomery energy, right? When you see this image, what comes to mind? What do you think about when you hear big Montgomery image or big Montgomery energy, or you see this particular image here, right? What type of thought, what type of emotion does it evoke? What type of memory does it evoke, right? What comes to mind when you see this particular picture here, or you hear the phrase big Montgomery energy? Let's see who's going to participate with me. Yeah, the movement, Black Power and Unity. Intentional travel experiences. I'm glad to be here. Appreciate y'all. Liberation. I love it. I love it. All right. Defend freedom. Oh, I like that. I like that. Unity. I love it. Let's check it out. Some of you might not remember. Let me remind you of what happened on August 5th, 2023. See if you remember this. The hats in the air.
Swimming his ass over there. Yeah, dang. That boy, get up there, young boy. Get up there, young buck. Get up there, young buck. Yeah, what's up? Y'all were talking a minute ago. Yeah. Woo! 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 That. Woo! Be that.
Yeah, y'all remember that, right? Alabama, Montgomery, Alabama. Remember that happened this past year, not even this past year, in August of 2023. This was the scene, right? And I saw some of y'all talking about priceless and with cheerleading. Listen, I'm not condoning the violence. I do push back. I mean, I do condone the jumping in and assisting the young man that was just being assaulted for literally just doing his job. People jumped in to defend him. I thought that was beautiful. And I know that the community, right, had a breath of fresh air blown into us, right, over what we saw, the unity and coming together and defending this man that was just doing his job by a senseless bunch of thugs that had no business being out in that area. As antagonistic as they were and are, right? But that big Montgomery energy swept through the community, right? So if y'all was on social media, you were in the community, people were very excited about what they saw. But I always like to remind people, what if we went beyond just that moment? What if we kept that energy going inside of our community on a continuous basis? What if it wasn't just when it was an opportunity to be violent, to fight back, but what if it was like that when we showed up at the polls? What if it was like that when we got involved with our political machines? What if it was like that when we were taking care of our schools? What if it was like that when we was mentoring the children in our community? What if it was like that when we were supporting black businesses? What if it was like, what if it was like, what if this was our norm instead of just that viral moment that happened in August of 2023? I think that this should be our norm, and I love and appreciate that moment for reminding our soul, while reminding our spirit of who we must be again. But I want to use this day to remind you that that energy, that spirit, this big Montgomery energy has always flown through us and our people and our community while we've been on this planet. Not just in this country, but on this planet. That energy, what you saw in August of 2023, is a resurfacing of what's always been dormant below the surface. This is who we are as a people, who we have been. And I want to use this Black History Month to remind your soul. And I want to expand the conversation so that you don't got to see moments, viral moments like this, to get excited about Black people unifying, to get excited about Black people coming together and doing what's right for us collectively. For you to, you don't got to see a social media moment for Black people coming together and celebrating in excellence, right? I don't want these to just be social media moments. These need to be norms. And if we dig further into our history and our culture, we'll find out that they are norms. And I'm going to continue. But before we go I get a little bit too far. Allow me to introduce you to my father. This is my dad. We call him 94 because he's 94 years old, right? And I bring him up and I show him. Yeah, I see y'all in the comments. Right. Y'all get me fired up. I see y'all in the comments, but I bring him up because he is the catalyst behind putting a deep love affair of Black history in me. And that allows us to grow and to be in this moment to share it with you, right? So I always want to give homage and love to my dad because that's my man. And I'm gonna talk a little bit more about him in a second. But let me get through this because I'm talking at y'all. You don't even know who's talking to you, right? So my name is Freddie Taylor. I'm the CEO and founder of Urban Intellectuals. We make it fun and easy to learn Black history, and we also make it easy to enjoy Black culture. And we do this with a series of historical education products designed to write the Black community back into the pages of world history and back into the hearts and the minds of our community. We are doing important work. This is something that we talk about. This is one of our core values inside of the company. We are doing important work. We are rewriting the narrative of Black and African people on this continent, not only in the history books, but more importantly, in the hearts and the minds of our community. This is what we are about. But also, I want you to remember when you see this, you are doing important work. The reason we know our work is important is because we support the people like yourself that are doing important work, raising the next generation, right? Working, figuring out life day to day, and bringing up the next generation of people. The work that you're doing gets no more important than that, and we get to assist you in this effort, and it's something that we don't take lightly, and we appreciate it. So together, everybody collectively is doing important work, right? And we're here on a Monday night, right, to prove that we are dedicated to this mission. So power to the people. And I always say, let me back up one last thing before I move on. This is what the revolution looks like, right? The revolution don't look like a whole bunch of talk all over social media. It looks like in back rooms, in private meetings, inside of the household meetings, inside of your home, the moments that you're reading and growing and learning. That's what the revolution looks like. It's not all talk and glitz and glamour. It's figuring out what can we do individualistically, as a family and as a community to advance ourselves. And it's less about talk and more about community and getting together and doing it together, right? But all right, look, some of you have seen us, some of you haven't, but this is our flagship product, our Urban Intellectuals Black History flashcards. You can see them in Target, Essence, NPR, News One, Fox Soul, and many, many more places. We sold over 400,000 decks of these all over the globe, all 50 states and internationally. How many of you got the flashcards? Give me a me in the comments if you've gotten the flashcards. If you haven't, it's something that you should consider. It's a wonderful thing. I see my me's coming through. My people are in the building. Appreciate y'all. Yes, no doubt. Here's something that most people don't know about us that even are customers of the company. We actually have 18 products, physical products outside of our apparel, like a t-shirt that I have on today. So no apparel, no hats, no mugs. We have 18 physical products centered around Black history and culture, ranging from games like our Black History playing cards, our Steam Bingo set, or a Black version of Taboo that we call You Better Not Say, and many, many more, right? So we are expanding as a company, but we're serious about this endeavor. So much so that we have something called the Sankofa Club. I saw there was give me an SC in the comments if you're a Sankofa Club member. But I appreciate y'all see y'all in the comments. But we have the #1 Black History Club for children, right? So we teach children Black history inside of the Sankofa Club over a digital platform like Zoom, like we're doing right now. We call it the Sankofa Club. There are over 254 classes that are available inside of the Sankofa Club. But we teach live Black history classes to children weekly, and then we archive those classes. So if you sign up, become a member of the Sankofa Club, there's literally over 250 classes waiting about Black history and culture to teach your children, right? There's over 537 students inside of the course, available 24/7, a beautiful format for our children, right? World changer in the building. Hey, Corey is one of our world changers. That's what we call our teachers inside of the Sankofa Club. I bring all of this up because I wanted to make note that we, at our core, we are a Black history company. This is who we are. This is that's they say this your month to shine. We shine every year, right? Every month, because we know that Black History is 365 all year round. But most people, hey, you need Black History Month to become aware. Fine. Well, here's a company that is centered around Black history. This is all we do, right? In fact, getting back to my dad, a few years ago when dad was 86 years old, he told me, hey, I want to go to Africa. Now, I thought dad had been to Africa. Turns out he hadn't. The following year, while he was 87, we go to Africa for the first time. It was his first time in Africa. It was my first time. A beautiful experience. Leaving, I saw Detroit in the building. What up, though? But Detroit Metro Airport right there in Romulus. We're leaving in the upper right corner. That's my mom dropping us off. Mom passed in 2019, but she got to see her fellas go off to the great continent and see the motherland on their own. But again, dad's 87 having these experiences here. It's a beautiful process. I shared a lot of that. The next year, dad come with me to Granada, Spain, right? So southern Spain. We spent 3 days there. Then we hopped the Mediterranean and went over to Marrakesh. I hung out in Morocco, right? So there's some more history and some culture and some conversations to have inside of Morocco and Spain, particularly southern Spain. I'm going to talk a little bit about the Moors and the Moorish history that we discovered there in Spain, not discovered, went to see and explored there in Spain. But we became international travel buddies. This is my man. But anytime we travel anywhere, we always go look for the history and the culture of Black and African people in this diaspora, right? This is something that's important to us and something that we do. 2019, we went on to Paris, France. This is me and a couple of my brothers and dad. We went to France. We actually went to Normandy, which is northern France, because dad just missed World War II. He was born in 1929 by a couple of years. So he always says he was too young for World War II, but he's a world history buff. So we was chasing the 75th anniversary of World War II, and we went into France to go see that, right, and all of that. 2020 took everybody out. It was COVID. Dad stayed safe. We didn't travel. We didn't go anywhere. Bang, 2021, we pop out to Vegas for a little conversation and a good time. And with my nephew, this is my nephew in the foreground, dad in the background there, enjoying us some Stella by the bed, by the poolside. He's a young 1 at this particular point, 92, right? But then he tells me, I want to go to Egypt. So as you can tell by the picture on the left, I got dad to Egypt. This is us there at the Sheraton Hotel in Cairo overlooking the Nile River there in the background. Beautiful picture, beautiful experience that we had in 2022. But instead of going alone, we decided to bring 40 of our closest urban intellectuals, friends, and supporters along with us to have our first urban intellectuals travel movement, Black History travel experience there in Cairo, Egypt in October of 2022. That's dad there. If you can see him with his sweater on in Egypt, it wasn't quite warm enough for him. So he had to add the heat, right? But it was a beautiful experience, and a travel experience was born, right? But stay tuned, and I'll tell you how you can win a free Black History travel experience with our company, right? So that was the setup. I had to go through all the rigmarole to come all the way back and tell you that we are a Black History company. We're centered on focusing on the African diaspora and bringing us together by understanding of our history and our culture. Not only do we create products and services centered around educating the community around that, but we've set up a travel infrastructure where we could take you on group travel to the motherland and beyond to explore Black History travel experiences. This is a complete company here at Urban Intellectuals, and we're really proud of what we're doing, but we're giving away a free trip. Right? So we're giving away a free trip for this experience. So I appreciate y'all for being here. But we are talking about this big Montgomery energy. Yeah, let's go. All right, my man Gary. We got one person in the comments that is ready, right? Give me a ready in the comments. You ready to dive in a little bit deeper? I needed to go through all of that and build up, right? Ready. That's what I'm talking about. My man, we ready. Yeah. All right. I appreciate my people is in here. All right. So I want to continue. One of the problems, ready, Freddie, there we go. One of the problems, let me come back on real quick. One of the problems that we have when it comes to our history and our culture and what we're doing as a people, and particularly around this subject of Black history and around this conversation of Black History Month, of which I am a big fan. Carter G. Woodson, I don't have my wall open. Let me see if I can drop this real quick. Some of y'all are familiar. I don't know. I can't figure it out. But anyway, Carter G. Woodson is back here on my wall. He's the founder of Negro History Week. It expanded to become Black History Month. One of the problems that we have, in my opinion, in modern day times, when it comes to talking about history and culture, is yes, 1 month is definitely not enough. But even in that month, why do we talk about the same 8 to 12 people? Anybody got a response to that? Why every single month we talk about the exact same 8 to 12 people? Am I the only one? Am I the only one? If I'm not the only one, give me a 1 in the comments if you're with me on this. Why do we talk about the same 8 to 12 people every single year? Yeah, hear about MLK one more again. Oh man, listen. Why have we been allowing individuals to shrink our history down so much? Not only 1 month ain't enough, right? First of all, but every year from kindergarten through 12th grade, you gonna give me the same 8 to there's nothing else in Black history to talk about. Listen, hey, start dropping them in the comments. Let's see if we can name the people that they talk about. I saw MLK come out. Who else do they talk about when it comes to our history? Rosa Parks. I see that one. Frederick Douglass, Tubman, Sojourner Truth, Malcolm X. Yeah, you got to get Malcolm in there. Let's see what I got going on. All right, Martin Luther King. We saw that, right? Rosa Parks, Harriet Tubman. Y'all mentioned that. Frederick Douglass, Malcolm X. I saw all of these. Sojourner Truth, right? George Washington Carver. They give us that every year. We talk about that. Thurgood Marshall. There's a couple more. We expanded a little bit. Langston Hughes, Maya Angelou, Bessie Coleman, that's a good one. Muhammad Ali, that's a good one too. Shirley Chisholm, that's a good one. I got WB, I see Medgar Evers, you get some Medgar Evers. Booker T, I saw somebody say that. Check out about the bonus. There we go, and it just came through. Right on time. Who was that? Joyce, right on time with Barack Obama, right? And they'll toss in Michelle Obama. Listen, if we're going to keep this big Montgomery energy going, we're going to have to expand this conversation, right? We're going to have to expand this. Yeah, Bray Rustin. Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. But we're going to have to expand this conversation, right? Because there's so much more to the Black community and who we are. But I started to think, I wonder why do we do the same people every single year? What is it about us? What is going on with us that's driving us into this position, right? And if it ain't 12, it's 20. And if you got to 20, you're in a crazy progressive district, right, that is doing something amazing. I saw people say, man, it's down to 6 people, right? But it's really a shame. But I feel like we end up doing the same thing every year because we're lazy, right? We're distracted. We're definitely distracted. We're busy with a million other things, not thinking that it's really important. We're not invested in our history and our culture. Nobody's ever really explained to us why it's important. Do we not believe in Black people? Do we not believe that they need inspiration to be motivated and to move forward? Do we not believe that they're worthy? What is it about us? Do we not know the history ourselves? Right? I know a lot of us has been miseducated, right? And that's why we show up in spaces like this today to try to fill in some of those gaps, right? Do we not value the history, right? All of the above, right? Educators don't realize how important this is. Do we underestimate the importance of history? Do we just think that this is about the past and it's something that's never of any importance ever again, right? Is this what everybody else is teaching, so it must be right? Is that kind of where we are, right? I saw somebody say all of the above. We're just accepting that the schools know better, right? I remember when my children first got into schools, I was blown away that they were still teaching in the 2000s what I was learning in the 80s. I couldn't believe that there had been no improvement to the educational system. Hey, spoiler alert, ain't nothing changed in the 2020s either, right? They still teaching the same garbage. And if you've been in Florida and some of the South, right, even less, right? But if we are honest, this is shameful and we must do better, right? We got to start to expand the conversation. Let me advance this just a little bit. But we got to start expanding the conversation because we need to see ourselves doing great things in order to do great things in our lives. And yes, I know it's some of y'all that are just flat out the exceptions to the rule, right? That don't need that and you just going to build and find out and build it for yourself. But most of us need to see it in order to be it. Right? So don't take that from us, right? But the unfortunate thing is our history is filled with examples. The problem is we're not using it, right? So I often say Black history is the greatest motivational story never told, right? So we got to change that. And that's our goal here today. Because why is that important? Because the first thing you look for in a picture is what? Let's imagine you was in this picture or there's some picture on Facebook and you know that you're in this picture. What's the first thing that you look for? It don't matter. It could be way in the back. You could be under somebody. You could be over somebody. You are definitely what are you looking for, right? Somebody that looks like you. Someone that looks like you. The truth of the matter is we're looking for ourselves. If you're in the picture, you're looking for you. Imagine it was your high school yearbook. Bang, and it's one picture. What you looking for? You looking for you. Your class picture, you looking for you. Your fraternity picture, you looking for you. You was at this party, you looking for you, right? You always looking for yourself. This is just a natural thing with humans. This is not a Black people thing. This is just a people thing. But this is what your children see when they look into history. This is what you see when you look into history, because this is what you've been brought up on. They tell you that everything that's important came from somebody that looked like this. This is a major issue with the psyche of our people, and it has a powerful impact on our future. You cannot allow history to look like this for our people. For your children, for your grandchildren, for your nieces, for your nephews, for your neighbors' kids, for your friends' kids, for your step kids, for your play kids, your play cousins. This is what it looked like, sprinkled with the 8 to 12 people that we talked about earlier. Where's the inspiration? How can they see? How can they know to do it if they can't see it? And listen, I don't fault Europeans for setting up their educational system the way that they have, because they did that to inspire little European children. To let them know that there's no cap on their learning, there's no cap on their growth, there's nothing that they can do, because they put people that look like them in front of them and made that important. Every other people on this planet do the exact same thing. I'm just waiting for us to wake up and realize this is important for us. And this isn't an original thought. Malcolm X said this 60, 70 years ago. Marcus Garvey said it 100 years ago, and on and on and on and on. This is a easy thought, right? But I bring it up because I want to show you the power of Black history and how it can change things from broken glass to broken mental change, right? So we got this thing inside of Urban Intellectual, inside of the Sankofa Club, excuse me. We got this thing inside of the Sankofa Club that we call 5 minutes a day keeps the miseducation away. So 5 minutes a day keeps the miseducation away. So we encourage our parents and our grandparents to spend consistent time with their children talking about history and culture, right? It doesn't have to be a long lecture, name and facial recognition, to do just small, little consistent prompts. So anyway, one of our parents was said she was behind on her 5 minutes a day. So this Saturday, her and her young 8-year-old is going to get to it. Got an 8-year-old little boy. He's a bit rambunctious, running around the house, getting ready to get to the dining room table so that they can do their work. Knock over uh, a lamp. Excuse me. Knocks over a lamp on the way to the table. The lamp knocks over the light bulb, crashes on the ground. It explodes. Bang. So the mom, instead of being frustrated, well, she had to count to 10, right? My parents out there can relate. Had to count to 10, but while she was relaxing or counting to 10, she looked down at the shadow radius of the light bulb and remembered Lewis Latimer, the young man in the middle, right? Remember Lewis Latimer as the studying inside of the Sankofa Club, who's a electrical engineer, who liked particular types of circuits. So instead of being frustrated, to use it as a teaching moment. Thank you, appreciate that. Use it as a teaching a moment to build the young man's understanding. So they talked about the filament and Lewis Latimer's role in that in creating the modern day light bulb. But they went a little bit further. They studied a little bit about Latimer and learned out he liked these particular types of circuits while he is conducting some of his experiments. She goes out, buys this circuit board, sits down with her young 8-year-old young man, puts together the circuit board, click, 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 a light bulb comes on, and an engineer was born, right? So at that moment, the young man understood that he wants to be an electrical engineer. But why? Because he got to practice like Lewis Latimer. He got to use the example of Lewis Latimer. There's so much history inside of our community, inside of our people that we can use in a positive way to inspire our young people to greatness, right? So an awesome moment, but a teachable one for all of us. We should look out for these opportunities to put the history and the culture in front of our children. But the broken glass, mental change, and an engineer was born, right? This is possible inside of utilizing Black history. But look, my goal today is to just get you excited. I want to get you fired up on the importance and the uses of Black history so that you can get fired up and that flame get lit inside of you, right? That flame is just the excitement for Black history and culture, for sharing it with other people, right? For inspiring. I want you to be able to go out and inspire other people through Black history and convince them that it's imperative that we share it with our children, our grandchildren, our mentees, our students. This is how we inspire the next generation and continue to grow. This is my goal, is to try to get you fired up this evening, this Black History Month. Our goal as a company is going to be to get you fired up this Black History Month. This is what we are aiming for, right? I want to light that flame so that you can do the same for other people, right? But let's get into a little bit of the Black history that I want you to start to expand the conversation with, right? And I want you to know in this part, I'm going to be safe. Right? I ain't gonna get too crazy on y'all. I ain't gonna get too wild. I ain't gonna go too far outside of your box, right? But I want to push the envelope a little bit. I want to push the conversation around some people a little bit so that we can build and grow together. So give me y'all, if y'all with me so far, give me a 2 in the comments, right? Give me a 2 in the comments. Let me know that y'all with me. Y'all ready to expand this conversation. We're not going to use the same 8 to 12 people no more. We are engaging and growing, and we know that this falls on us. I love it. I see my tools. They are flowing steady, right? So let's get into some of the Black history. So I saw somebody mention Mary McLeod Bethune. I love this sister, so I love to bring her up. How many of you are familiar with Mary McLeod Bethune, right? Like, we might know some of her stories, but let me explain to you why I feel like she's an important piece of this particular discussion. Right, number one, she was born to Samuel and Patsy McLeod, who were sharecroppers on the farm on the plantation that they were enslaved. Right, just to let you know just what type of people that you're dealing with, that has the fortitude to stay with 17 children. Hold on. They had 17 children there at the foothill of the plantation that they was enslaved upon, right? Trying to bend their back to figure out how to make a way for, I love this. My son is a Bethune-Cookman graduate. How special is that? I want to bring that up in a moment. But there was a special day that Patsy had with Mary, right? And was taking the laundry to the big house, right? Let me come back on real quick. Yeah, so congratulations to you and your son, right? I love that. Bethune Cookman, I love it. But there was a day Patsy, Mary's mother, had to go up to the big house, right, to take the laundry because they was doing the laundry for the big house. They sharecropping on the farm, on the land. Mary was born in 1875, by the way. So think about this is just after emancipation and all of that madness that was going on. If you can imagine, it's the Reconstruction era. But they have to go up to the big house, right, and take the laundry up. And Patsy was concerned because she was like, I don't know if Mary's ready to go on up here. And, Samuel was like, hey, this is life. She's going to have to see it at some point. Take her with you. So she takes Mary up to the big house. Patsy goes inside, is dropping off the laundry or doing whatever she's doing inside. Mary's outside at the front porch with the rest of the children, the white children that are on the plantation, right? So Mary notices up on the porch, she notices a book, and she goes over and she picks up the book, right? And she starts flicking through the book. She's looking at it, and the little white kid comes up, knocks it out of her hands and said, hey, that's not for you, books are for white people. And Mary was like stunned, right? She was just like, kind of taken aback or whatever. Her mother comes out, she rushes her out of the plantation, take them back to their home. And that moment stuck with Mary. That moment did something to Mary, because at that moment, Mary couldn't read. She didn't understand any of those things that was in that book, but she, in her young childlike mind, rationalized that the difference between black folks and white folks, it's got to be something in them books. It's something. Ooh, this is a killer right here, though. There's something in them books that must be the difference. So she vowed that she was going to figure it out, and then she was going to figure it out and teach everybody that she could get close to what was in them books. It started to become a burning desire inside of her at a very, very young age. Now, if you know anything about the Reconstruction era, there's no schooling for black people, black children, right? There ain't no schools. You can't just go have your children be educated in these public schools and all of that. This is not a thing that is happening at the time. But some philanthropists come down and they're going to build a school in the area, and they're trying to get Samuel and Patsy to share some of their children, allow them to come to this particular school. And they're like, nah, our kids don't need that. We need to work. We about work ethic, and we got things to do here on the farm. We need to eat. And the school board, the people start to ask, they say, well, what about one child? You got 17. How about just one? And Samuel was like, nah, we don't need that. Get that out of here. This is for other folks. That ain't for us. We got work to do here on this farm. And Patsy is credited with asking Samuel, does the fate of this entire farm rest on the back of one little girl? Right? Because Mary is the youngest at the time. And Samuel had to, relent and says, all right, we can select one person. But they knew Mary was going to be the right person, because Mary had this burning desire for education and educating people. So they knew if Mary learned something, she was going to come back and teach all 16 of her brothers and sisters about this information, about what she learned, right? She is serious about this. So sure enough, Mary goes to school. Get this, though. Mary's walking 5 miles to school one way in the South. Right? Like, let that sink in. And I think she's like 12 years old at the time, right? 5 miles alone in the South. We won't let our children walk 0.5 miles today anywhere, right? And you're in the South walking for miles, right? Just think about the mentality, how serious this little girl was. But sure enough, she would study her butt off, and when she come home, she would teach her brothers and sisters everything that she learned. But not only that, she taught her mother and her father how to read using the Bible. In fact, using the very same Bible that she taught them. She mentioned one of the most important moments to her was teaching her mother and her father how to read those Bible verses that got them through slavery and they got them through these hard times. And she talked about how proud she was of that moment. When she got done with school, she didn't graduate. There was no graduation. She just got done and went back to the farm and started working, right? But eventually some Northerners came down and had like a scholarship for Mary to go off to seminary school to continue her learning and development. The whole town came out to see her off at the train station. And Mary was vocal about her passion for educating people. And her daddy told her, hey, Mary, don't worry about trying to educate any and every, all the people. Find the people in need and start there and help them. And Mary never forgot that. She ends up getting married, moving down to Florida, and she spent $1.50. I love this part of the story. She spent $1.50 to buy the land, the first piece of land that she erected, the first building of Bethune-Cookman College there in Florida, right? It wasn't Bethune. It didn't start off that way. It started off as a work school for young girls, but eventually merged in 21 and started to expand into Bethune-Cookman College. And she has erected something that is educating people, tens of thousands of people over the years, probably more than that, of which somebody dropped in the comments that their son graduated from Bethune-Cookman College, right? So I love stories like this because it starts as a little girl dreaming, and she goes out and does something amazing, like builds a college that is still going over 100 years later from its inception. It's a beautiful thing, and it's something that I think not only that we should know as a people, but we should pass along to our young people because they need stories like this to be inspired. How many of you are familiar with Maggie Lena Walker? I love to have this conversation as well. Have you ever seen this young lady? I'll try to be a little bit quicker on this story, but it's yes, all right. Gary's in it on a lot of our stuff. I love it. Reading instead of video games. Y'all arguing that? Okay, all right. Yeah, first black bank owner. I love it. I love it. So Maggie Lena Walker was born in 1864 to an enslaved mom, right? Get this, her dad was an Irish Catholic Confederate soldier, right? You see, she's a bit fair-skinned, but imagine that dynamic, being born in 1864. But in 1903, she became the first woman to charter a bank, the St. Luke Penny and Savings Bank, in 1903. Now, this is not a black woman. This is a woman in the United States, period. She was the first one to charter the bank. Yeah, she's a shero for real. Amazing ambition as a person, but she talked about turning our dimes and nickels into dollars. And I lean on that point because we talk often about the economics of our community. What are we going to do? We need to put these nickels and dimes together so that we can create dollars. And this is what she was on in 1903. As a woman, let's not act like women have had equal rights. And let's not act like they got equal rights today. But as a black woman in the South, right? Just think about the audacity of these people that we're talking about, right? To dream that she's going to do something like this. Not only dream it, but do it. Can you imagine the pushback that she got at this time? But not only did she start a bank, she owned a newspaper, right? She owned a general store, and she was vocal about hiring women, giving women jobs and careers is what she put it. She said, the domestic work is great. This is great, but our women deserve careers. And she went on to create opportunities for these women and mentored them and grew them up. We're talking thousands of people that have come through her doors. I have grown because this woman had the fortitude, one, to survive and fight all of the negative things against her. But also the mental acumen to really figure out how she can impact her community for the better. The courageousness goes on because like the bus boycotts and the movements that were going on at the time needed to be spread through the newspapers, right? And I'm a part of another show called Black Business Icons, where we were talking about the importance of the media throughout our history, because this ain't just media, right? This ain't social media where we posting stuff on the internet. Like these folks know where you live, where you are from, what you are about, and you speaking out against they good old fashioned racism, and you putting it in the paper, and you one of these ornery Negroes that's getting them all excited and riled up. We got to get rid of you. Under all of those threats, people like Magdalena Walker still produce publications that breathe life into the community and that help them build and move forward. Right? I always love to bring that up because of the fortitude that it takes to move forward with all of those dangers around you. Right? Like we always say what we would do, but we here in 2024 sitting pretty comfortably, and we don't put our neck on the lines for anything, and these people go out of their way to seek it, to push group economics and their activism, right? So I love to bring up Magdalena Walker for her business acumen, but for her political courageousness. I think that this is an important part of the discussion that she should be included. Let me give you a couple of more individuals that I think that we could utilize to expand this conversation. Now, here's one of my favorites. How many of you are familiar with Rube Foster? All right, Electra, I'm glad I gave you something. Yeah, we got way more money today. We got a couple of black banks. They struggling though. They could definitely use this 1.4 trillion that we spend annually. Black hospitals in Detroit gone. Don't get me started on Black Bottom. All right, JL, you're going to get me going. How many of y'all familiar with Rube Foster? I should have had my fly in so I couldn't give away some of the topics, right? But Rube Foster is basically the grandfather of the Negro League baseball, right? This is, and you might say, man, what does Negro League baseball have to do with this? Just stick with me for a second, because I got an interesting twist to the story, and it's something that we fail to learn that we definitely need to get, right? This is really important. But Rube Foster was born in September 17th, 1879. I guess I'm infatuated with that with that late 19th century era, right? Just because of the dangers of everyday life, right? Like I know I go out, and we talk about the police and we talk about different things, but they like literally hanging people. You might see that on the way to church or wherever it is that you're going, right? That type of intimidation, it's never light on me, right? And I'll explain a little bit further. But Rube Foster grew up loving baseball. By 17, he was full-time baseball player in the Negro Leagues, right? There was a multiple Negro Leagues, right? So that's a misconception, is we think that there was only one. There was a bunch of different leagues, right? So he's growing up and he's coming up playing baseball. He's got crazy notoriety. He's an amazing pitcher. He invented the screwball. Oh, where's the slide? Oh, I'm talking about the slide. No wonder y'all ain't know. Bam. All right. So yeah. So Rube Foster, right? Like I say, he loved baseball. A prolific pitcher, but he's actually a better businessman. But he failed in one area, and I'm gonna not fail, but we failed him in one area. Let me just say that, right? Black superhero, right? But he was absolutely amazing when it came to this baseball, right? Like say he invented the screwball. They snuck him into major league camps to teach some of the white pitchers how to throw this particular pitch. Of course, he never got any credit publicly about this. Y'all know how these stories go. But let me fast forward a little bit because Rube is playing for a couple of teams in like 1915, 1917. He gets traded to a different team, but he's negotiating, bringing some of his teammates with him. But in 1919, he partners up and starts the Negro National Leagues. So he had started a team, the Chicago Giants, and at first, and then he convinced some other leagues to merge together in 1919 and start the Negro National Leagues. Yeah, 1981 became a Hall of Famer finally, right? But the Negro National Leagues was getting really, really popular, right? It was really, really growing. I love talking. If you got some elders in your family, go ask them about the popularity of Negro baseball prior to 1947 when Jackie Robinson, quote unquote, broke the color barrier, but it really broke the back of black baseball and our economy that was built around it, right? So before I go a little bit too far, let me jump back to my slide and get into that really quick. So Rube was really big on the business of the Negro Leagues. That's where I wanted to get into this particular point. He was really big on the business of it all, right? Because what happened was baseball, you got to think like there's no television, there's no internet. People aren't gathered around those things. So people are outside doing things. And baseball was big in the community. And it got so popular that these traveling games in the Negro Leagues were very, very popular. The stands will be filled. People are there and they're watching them. You might be thinking, oh, man, they're racking up money at the gate. But that wasn't what Rube was about. Rube was about bringing everybody along. So not only were the players getting properly compensated, but so were the coaches and the trainers and the workout people. So were the people in the stands, the hot dog stands, the vendors, the soda drinkers. Like there's a whole economy followed around a baseball game, right? Particularly if there's multiple games and multiple nights, it's moving city to city. There's a whole ecosystem that needs to be fed. And Rube is big on all of these black people getting an opportunity to vend and do business with them. So they weren't accepting white concession stands or donuts or hot dogs or coffee or whatever. These were all black businesses. Now, some intentionally and some because of segregation and Jim Crow. But either way, there was a tremendous ecosystem and economy floating around black baseball. And now you got to know the history of baseball. White baseball was trailing off, right? Particularly as you start to get around the times of the wars, right? In the late 30s and the early 40s. White baseball is trailing off. Black baseball is going up because of the particular brand that black folks play, right? That more exciting brand. They're bunting, they're stealing bases, they're doing flips, right? You think about Ozzie Smith in the 70s and the 80s, right? The show inside of the show was always a thing. It was a spectacle, right? It was something to go and see and was rising in popularity. Rube ends up, he got exposed to like a gas leak. And had some mental conditions, right? Like he was even institutionalized there for a moment. He died in 1930, and I just think that his vision kind of went along with him, right? And I don't think whoever was picking up the pieces afterwards didn't have the same appeal and ability to hold the leagues together and to grow like Rube did. And it was really a sad thing. And then we see the popularity of black baseball continue to grow for a while. But we see in the 40s when Jackie Robinson, quote unquote, broke the color barrier. Some people were excited, but some people were pissed off about this. Listen, by some people, I mean me, right? I wasn't around, but when you read $40 million Slaves, right? There's an excellent book called $40 million Slaves. I forget the brother's name, Rhodes, I believe. He really breaks this all down. But Jackie Robinson leaving for the major leagues was the worst thing that could ever happen, right? Because instead of the major leagues, MLB, merging with the Negro National Leagues and y'all becoming one league together where black owners own so many teams, the white owners own so many teams, instead of that happening, the white league swooped in and just picked off the best players out of the Negro National League. And Jackie Robinson was the watershed on that because once he went, they all went. And the flood went out of our community. We lost all of that that ecosystem of business surrounding the baseball. We lost all of our best players, so all of the interest waned and disappeared, and they killed and murdered the business. And you might be saying, well, Freddie, what did you expect them to do? I expected them to do what they did with the AFC. So the NFC and National Football League, y'all still watch football, right? NFC and the AFC merged and created the NFL. But they didn't go over to the AFC and pick all the best players and pick them apart. They merged leagues, allowing the owners to keep ownership in those teams. So we have two different sports, two different types of owners, and two different types of behavior by the larger white organization. And a lack of understanding, in my assumption, on Black people's part in the importance of economics and sticking together. Because if none of the players would have went, they would have been forced to merge the leagues. But everything is what they say, 2020 in hindsight, right? So like Jackie Robinson is, to me, he's, I was just gonna say he's not a hero, right? They gave you that movie 47 to stick him all in your face. But then do they talk about Jackie Robinson testifying in court that Paul Robeson is a communist, right? Like, this is like actual records. You can go look at it. Jackie Robinson later in his life apologized for it, said that he shouldn't do it, but the damage was done against somebody who was a staunch advocate for Black people in this country, right? And he spoke out against them to butter his biscuit. Which is sometimes happens to us, right? But anyway, those are the lessons around Rube Foster that I think are important. Is that, again, it's that beat of Maggie Lena Walker, right? The economics and being of service to our people and coming through in the clutch for one another, right? But that was what Rube Foster was about. How many of you are familiar with the Moors? Give me a yes or a no in the comments. And I didn't change my title up there at the top. I got some yeses. Yes. I bring this up particularly because here at Urban Intellectuals, we often talk about how important it is to go beyond slavery when we're talking about our history and our culture, right? And I'm always talking about the Underground Railroad is still open because we still got a lot to learn about our history and our culture. And I see my hands going up and down. Q&A will be up in a second, right? All right, but yeah, so I always want to have this conversation about what's on the other side of the chasm. Why everybody keeps saying, just look at slavery, and then where you come from after that. I'm gonna go deeper into this, and we're gonna have part 2 to this. I'm gonna go deeper into that in our next one. But I wanted to bring up the Moors because it brings us to a good point in the conversation. And I see some of my people are familiar with the Moors, some aren't. Good, both ways. Only a name. Okay, I get it. All right, so the Moors I'm gonna leave it on. I messed up the title, right? So I wanted to just talk about their rule in Spain, right? Before I get into Morocco, okay? So pretend I got that right. But the Moors actually ruled. So the Moors are a set of Northern Africans, right? Who have been known to build settlements as far as Asia, throughout the India, the Middle East, Northern Africa, all the way across horizontally, right? From Asia all the way into Northwest Africa, right? And into Europe. These are people known as the Moors who had a mix of mostly Islamic African people, but also Christian and also Jews involved inside of their community. But the Moors actually ruled Egypt from 711 AD to 1492 AD, right? So almost an 800-year history and presence inside of Europe, Southern Europe, and particularly in Spain, right? But they brought the Age of Enlightenment. What they tell you about is the Dark Ages. They say Europe went into the Dark Ages. Europe really fell into control of the Moors, who had moved into the region attempting to civilize the European. My sound didn't go out. I just wanted to make sure that you heard me, right? They moved into Europe in an attempt to civilize the European, right? And this is what they were about for these couple of hundreds of years, right? So they built universities up there, they built sewer systems, they built walkways, they built libraries, they built some of the most impressive structures that are still standing there today. The University of Salamanca comes out of the Moorish mindset, who the Moors, even though they were predominantly into Islam, were very progressive about women education, women learning, and women in the forefront. They were astute astronomers. There we go. Astronomers and mathematicians, right? Engineers, architects. This is a beautiful brand of intellectual scientists and mathematicians that spread their knowledge far and wide. The Alhambra in Granada, Spain, is the last Moorish stronghold there that still stands to this day in Granada, Spain. It's in the southern part of Spain. If you're ever in the area, you got to go see it. I'm going to show you some pictures in a second. You know this particular spot because they tell you about King Ferdinand and Princess Isabella got together, right? They got together, and then what? Then they christened Christopher Columbus to sail west, right, with his reign of terror in 1492. What was happening right before that, when they got together, they actually just finally defeated the Moors there in Spain, in Granada, at the Alhambra. But there's an incredible documentary you can watch called When the Moors Ruled Europe. Jasmine, if you could drop that link in the comments, y'all can check that out. It's just on YouTube. It's a beautiful discussion about all of this, but this is a fascinating history. Yeah, there's no such thing as the Dark Ages. What really happened is the white folks wasn't in control, so they just tried to ignore all of the history that was going on there. They hit you with some misdirection, some different names, and all of that. We're going to another conversation about that. But I wanted to show you something. Remember I showed you my international travel buddy, my dad. This is us there at the Alhambra. This is the Alhambra 2018. It was built in the 8th century. It was built in the 8th century. And this is still standing. It's still absolutely gorgeous. It is beautiful. This place, these pictures don't do it any justice. If you walk around, we did a walking tour of this place. It was 3.5 miles up on this gigantic like hill mountain structure. I don't know. You can see us on the bottom left overlooking the city because that's how high up this place was. It's absolutely spectacular. I'm telling you, if you can get to this place, it's beautiful. Here's the thing though. We always say who you travel with matters. And I say that because Dad and I just went solo on this trip. We didn't have a plan. We got there. We just got and went to the Alhambra, bought a ticket, and got on the tour with them. If you was on that tour and you didn't know your history, you would have had no idea there was Black people behind the construction of this place. Not one time did they mention they were Black. Not one time did they mention they were African. Not one time did they mention the Moors. Not once, right? I couldn't, Dad and I in the back, like, man, I can't even believe this, right? So who you travel with matters because the narrative of the stories that you get is going to be dependent on who you listening to, right? So it was crazy, right? We had a great discussion about that. Then after that, we hopped the Mediterranean, went over to Morocco and continued that discussion where they confuse you with more conversation and call you Berbers. But there's another part of the conversation there. We could dive into that another day. Beautiful stuff. But I want to slow down because I know y'all are trying to get to, all right, Freddie, this was great. I loved it, but I need to know, how can I win my free trip to Africa, right? I know. But look, next time we're going to do this again. We're going to check in Black History Month. We're going to check in again. I'm going to build some more to this story because I'm going somewhere with this conversation. I got you on the other side of the water. Next time we pick up, I want to tell you about my dual citizenship journey. My wife and I, this is my wife here, Crystal. We are Mende out of Sierra Leone, and we got our dual citizenship last year. So it was a cool experience. But then I started going down that path and learning something more and learning more. Then I found out there was a connection between Sierra Leone and the Mali Empire and the Malayan Empire, right? And Mansa Musa, and what started to happen after Mansa Musa's death, and what started to happen after the Moors fell in Granada, Spain, and they lost that. And then what happened to them in Morocco all kind of leads to the fall of Africa, right? It all goes together. And like when I figured this piece out, I was genuinely floored because I've never heard nobody say this. And I want to share it with y'all. And I never heard nobody say it, and then it came out of the mouth of my favorite historian, right, Dr. John Henry Clark. So obviously, I just wasn't reading Dr. Clark thoroughly enough. So let me not act like it's something groundbreaking and it's never been heard before. But unless you really track history, you've probably never heard this before. I was absolutely stunned, and for me, it's the linchpin on what happened, on why Africa really started to fall. Like, where was the crumble at? Yes, I did a poll on this, and we talk about the different dialects and, oh, we're fighting over land and this and that. And, you know, white folks were selling the horn of Africa and snatching people. Yeah, and, you know, a slow decline over the centuries. Dr. Clark talked about that in A Great and Mighty Walk, which is a great lecture series. But I found the linchpin. To me, I don't know. I feel you come back. I think, Jasmine, correct me if I'm wrong. We're going to do February 15th. We're going to come back and have a part 2 to this. But I'm going to show you this linchpin and the fall of Africa. And I think it'll help us understand a lot more of our situation on this side of the water by clearing up what happened over there. Because we got a lot of misconceptions. And because we don't go over there and we just listen to our oppressors tell us what the hell happened, we get a lot of misinformation, right? So I want to clean up. February 19th to be part 2. Excellent. Thank you for that. Yeah. I want to clean this up. I think it's going to blow your mind. I'm really excited about it. But I know you're like, oh, how you going to leave us hanging? Because that's that big Montgomery energy, people, right? Like, hopefully you enjoyed that piece and that build up and understand why we need to expand this conversation. How are we going to keep this big Montgomery energy going? How are we going to keep flowing as I've got this screen up over here, like y'all can see it, right? But how we going to keep this thing going, right? We're going to keep leaning into our history, our culture, and understanding who we've been on this planet so that we can better tell our next generation who they need to be and so that they can see it and they can believe it. And this is how we keep the energy going. But the energy got to flow. The energy has to flow into in a way that makes sense for all of us, right? I'll be there with my folded chair just in case Corey, because you're killing me in the comments. Okay, but we want to keep this going. But I also want you to go to Africa, right? I want you to have this opportunity to see the motherland for yourself. Interested in purchasing merchandise now? Jasmine, can you drop Lisa some comments? Or maybe inbox it. Yeah, all right, Barbara. Thank you, Barbara. Barbara say this is great. Can I get a copy of this session? Yes, we are going to share this. Jasmine, correct me if I'm wrong. We're recording this and we're going to send that out, correct? Yes, you will get a replay tomorrow. Okay, excellent. So I'm glad y'all enjoyed that. Please come back. Let me jump on camera right quick before I give y'all this, because I know y'all just here to figure out how can y'all get a free trip to Africa, but please come back for the next one on February 19th, because if you enjoy this little setup, I'm gonna knock it out the park. And mainly because now I can speak so definitively on this, mainly because nobody's ever really talked to you about what happened over there. And I'm not talking about Egypt. I ain't talking about Kemet tens of thousands of years ago, right? Of which I can, and it's a wonderful discussion. I'm talking about right on the other side of the chasm. I'm talking about the 1800s, the 1700s, the 1600s, and I'm going to start around the 1400s, right? Right leading up, right? What happened right before the fall? What happened, right? I'm telling you, I feel like I found the linchpin, and then you could just see the cookie crumble after that, right? And I almost gave you a hint. I ain't giving you no hint. You're gonna have to come back. Matter of fact, follow us on social media. I'm gonna give you some hints leading up to and leading up to it all. It's good stuff though. I promise you. I promise you're gonna enjoy that one. All right, but give me an Africa in the comments if you're ready. I'm done. I promise. I ain't got no more lecture in me. Well, maybe a little bit. But give me an Africa in the comments if you're ready to find out about this free Africa trip, right? Let's ride, right? Yeah, how is it gonna happen, right? Okay, I'm about to give you all the details. And if you have any questions afterwards, you could definitely get them as well. I have enjoyed and you have given the material to share with my students this month at school. I love it, Vicky. Let me know if you want me to come in. I can come in and do some of this. Who's ready to learn how to go to Africa? All right, my people are ready, right? One, I'm just excited that y'all are excited about coming to the continent. I feel like it's a trip of a lifetime, but I'm going to be quiet so you can just see a little bit about what it's like. All right. I'm hoping you're getting a little bit fired up about this opportunity to go into Africa. Anybody know that country? Did you notice the country that was there that was depicted? Give me some countries. Let's see if you know which one it is. I see Ghana. Is Jay gonna come as well? He may. Ghana. I love it. Okay, y'all know. All right, everybody knows that's Ghana, Freddie. Come on. Ghana or Johannesburg? I had a Johannesburg question. Pastor Jay Cameron. Jay Cameron is our man. Yes, he's definitely our CTO, right? Our Chief Traveler Officer, right? Point of no return. I love it. Yes, y'all are right. That is a good place there in Ghana. Bam. So here we go. Let's get into the details, good people. Bang. Look, there are going to be 1,000 entries. How many entries? Somebody give it to me in the comments. How many entries? They're only going to be 1,000 entries. Yes, 1,000. That's pretty good odds. 1,000 entries. You're going to get a raffle ticket for a free trip to Africa. Only 1,000 people will have this opportunity to win this free trip to Africa. That is it. When it's sold out, it's sold out, right? All right, here we go. Let's keep going. What are we offering? So we are asking that you grab a 5-deck bundle of our Black History flashcards. There are 52 decks in each, 52 cards in each deck. There's picture information on the front, bullet pointed information on the back. But to each person, let me keep going. This is our offer for Black History Month, right? So we're doing an exclusive 5-deck bundle. And I know some of you are saying, what if we already have the bundles? Hey, you can give them away as gifts. There's a wonderful gift for Black History Month. You got birthdays throughout the year. You can go ahead and grab yours, but don't check out just yet because you got to see the bonuses that we're going to get to give as well, right? So if you have volumes 1 and 2, you can keep 3 and 4, 3, 4, and 5, and then give away the first 2, right? But check it out. Let me dig in a little bit more before I get to all of the questions. Volume 1 is the General History deck. Features a wide range of Black history figures. Volume 2 is all Black women, so it's a glorious history dedicated to our Black women. Volume 3 is our STEAM series, Science, Technology, Engineering, Arts, and Mathematics. Volume 4 is before 1492. So we start about 35,000 years ago and come up to 1492. Yeah, definitely great gifts, silent auctions, and raffles. Volume 5 is Afro-Latin, Afro-Caribbean series that features prominent people from the Afro-Latin and Afro-Caribbean countries. This is what we have together, but check it out. This is a $125 value on our website. We're giving it for 50% off during Black History Month. Y'all got an opportunity to start now. January 15th, we're going to open it up, urbanintellectuals.com/Black History Month 2024. Free shipping is included. Again, if you got the sets already, you can buy this deck and give away the 3 that you already have as a gift, door prizes, donations to your school, the schools in your area, whatever the case may be, because you're going to want a chance, a 1 in 1,000 chance at getting your free trip to Africa. But there's more. Hold on. Check this out. As they say, but wait, there's more. How about free access to 6 pre-recorded UI Sankofa Club Black History classes called Loving Ourselves, Our History, and Our Culture. These are pre-recorded classes taught by our world changers for children and young adults to learn more about our history and our culture. So you get free access to 6 of those classes. We're going to toss in a $10 store credit to the Urban Intellectual Store just for saying thank you as a way to give back to our people. Yeah, Sankofa classes, we got them, right? How about this one? A $100 travel voucher to the UI travel movement. Let's just say you didn't win our raffle, or let's say you won the raffle, and then after you go on your trip to Ghana, you want to go on another trip with us, we're still going to give you $100 off for our travel movement, right? Exclusive raffle entry. So you're going to also get 1 raffle entry to a free trip to Africa. Now, here's where things really get interesting. When you go ahead and purchase at urbanintellectuals.com/Black History Month 24, you're going to see an offer to buy some other things. And if you decide to get them, you can get additional entries into the contest, right? So again, only 1,000 people are going to be involved. I don't know how many people are going to take multiple things in order to increase their chances, but only 1,000 people will have this opportunity to get the free trip to Africa, right? So this is what we're going on, right? All right, so the excitement is building. This is the offer, right? So all for just $62.47. This is free shipping, so you know there's no extra cost on top of this. But you will get the free raffle entry for a free trip to Africa. All 5 decks of our Black History flashcards, $10 store credit, 6 classes inside our Sankofa Club, Loving Ourselves, Our History, and Our Culture, and then a $100 travel voucher to travel with the Urban Intellectuals travel movement. Again, 1,000 entries. That's it. So how do I get 6 tickets? So how do I get 6 for my family? Everybody can purchase one, but then, like I said, after you go through and make the purchase here, you're going to see an opportunity to buy some upsells, and it's going to tell you how many extra tickets that you get, right? So as you buy one, you'll get an extra ticket. You buy another, you get another extra ticket, and so on and so forth. And if you've ever been through one of our funnels, the deals just get better and better, right? So continue to check them out. But again, only 1,000 people will have this opportunity. Once these spots are sold out, they're sold out. We are going to give away the final prize on February 31st. Jasmine, correct me if I'm wrong. February 31st. Oh, Jasmine, thank you. Hey man, y'all, shout out to Jasmine. I almost cheated y'all. Thank you, Jasmine. I just caught it in the side. I totally forgot. Y'all showed up with us here tonight, January 15th, to kick off Black History Month. We're giving you an extra entry. If you purchase today, if you grab the 5-deck bundle today, you'll not only get 1 entry, you'll get 2 just for grabbing your 5-deck bundle today, right? So inside of y'all the first movers, y'all showing up, y'all participating, y'all rocking with us, we rocking with you. So you're gonna start off with 2 entries into this raffle. And if you buy anything else, you'll get a 3rd, 4th, 5th ticket as well. So that is how it's working. Thank you, Jasmine. And February 29th is correct. Yes, he meant February 29th. Forgive me. Did I say February 31st? Oh, man. There's a lot going on in my mind, right? And I got a little bit more to share with you. And I got to take Q&A. So, yeah. So blame it on my head, not my heart. All right, so again, 1,000 entries. You're going to get your bonus entry for signing up with us today. But I want to share a little bit more, show you a little bit of the good feelings that you can look forward to when you win your trip to Africa with us.
In America, my name is Crystal Taylor, and I was born and raised in East St. Louis, Illinois, and currently live in the south suburbs of Chicago. But just now today, I have been given my Ghanaian name of Adwa Mansa. It's Adwa Mansa, Mansa, Adwa Mansa, Mansa, Adwa Mansa, Mansa. And today, when I saw what was going to happen on this trip, I knew that this would be the moment that would break me. Because I wanted to be here for so long. And at 46, I'm finally actualizing this dream. And I feel such a connection, such a warmth and welcome from our African family. And it means so much because in America, we've been taught that we're not liked here, we're not wanted here. But there's been nothing but love and excitement to see us. And today, to be given my name from the village chiefs, I can't explain how it feels. And I can't stop crying because it feels so good. Because I feel so loved here. It feels like home. And I'm just grateful. I'm really glad that I've had this experience. And I just couldn't ask anything else.
Yeah, a lot of feelings go into all.
In America,
there's a lot going on.
My name is Crystal Taylor.
Inside of this particular trip, before I get into that one, there's a lot to unpack inside of this particular trip. Yeah, a lot of emotions, a lot of beautiful scenery. I meant to tell you the date, right? 2024. Why wait? What we waiting on, right? So we're not going to send you to Africa in 12 years. We're not going to send you to Africa in 2027, 2026, 2025. We're talking about going to Africa this year, later this year. So you're going to get that opportunity for the winner. I can't wait to document their trip to show you that, oh my God, they actually sent these people to Africa. How beautiful is that? So we're really excited about that. You go ahead and purchase before midnight. You can get your your additional ticket. You just sign up, store.urbanintellectuals.com, Black History Month 24. Egypt is already paid for. That's what I'm talking about, Gary. How about 2 trips, young man? That would be all right. We had conflicting dates. We'll make it work for you next year or whatever you would make it work. Where in Africa? Oh, Barbara, we're going to Ghana. We have decided to give away the trip to Ghana. That's good. That's why I've been showing these pictures. But let me show you this last one before I just come back on and answer any of your questions. A couple of those. Bang. Check this one out. It's one that I think everyone should enjoy. We went to Cape Coast Slave Dungeon, but right before that we did Elamina Slave Dungeon as well. And I say dungeon and not castle because they try to sanitize the history, but what we experienced, this was a dungeon, this was a situation that was navigated, manifested, dreamed, built, and executed by psychopaths. And what do I mean by that? Come to another country, steal them, put them inside of these slave dungeons and ship them off for one of the world's worst Holocaust that has ever been seen. But I specifically want to talk about being in those dungeons and experiencing the pain and anguish of the ancestors while they were in those dungeons, sleeping, eating, and living in feces, right? In urine, in blood, and sweat, and tears, and menstrual cycles, all those months inside of those dungeons. And the church, each dungeon that we visit in Ghana has had a church over the Dutch. This is a systematic effort. But these psychopaths, I'm just going to call them what they are. And if you're offended by that, then it's your problem. The truth is, I was there. I sat in those dungeons alone as a 12-year-old. Scared to I don't know. And that what I'm saying, I challenge you to experience it for yourself. But standing there in the dark alone, knowing people are claiming to be Catholics, claiming to follow the word of God. How could someone fathom doing anything like that to individuals and praying to God while below your feet in a tree, chattel, and animals? Only a psychopath would do something like that. And that is just the word that I'm taking away from this experience this week. Is they had to be psychopaths. I'm not cleaning it up. I'm not calling no one no slave master. We'll call them what they are. They are psychopaths. Anyone that supports that effort but tries to talk around the truth or the subject or rationalizing, you're a psychopath as well. And I didn't mean to like get all off into too much, but I want to call the global African diaspora to come on home, to come and witness this for yourself, to see it, to smell it, to even taste it. It's just such a presence that you have to experience. And no words can do it justice. You have to experience it for yourself. You have to try it. Right? The ancestors were taken away through the door of no return. That door, that anxiety, that pain, but we were able to return. Right? They weren't able to return physically, but the manifestation in their children's children, grandchildren, right, are coming back home to tie that knot. Strong trip, people. That's like the best way I could put it. This is a strong trip. This is a strong experience, and one that I hope that you get an opportunity to experience, if not with us, with somebody. But we are for just $62.47. We're gonna give you $125 of value inside of our Black History flashcards, plus the $10 store credit, $100 travel voucher, access to 6 courses inside our Loving Ourselves, Our History and Our Culture, and two free entries into our raffle for our trip to Africa. So if you have any questions, and we're talking about going in 2024, you win, we'll give you the dates. It's the free trip available to Ghana only right now. Yes, if you are on a trip with us and you've gone with us to Ghana already, then and you win, I'm pretty sure we'll make an adjustment. When does the raffle take place? The raffle takes place on February 29th. I think I said the 31st the first time, right? I knew it was an extra day. I got mixed up. February 29th. Yes, this is actual leap year. This isn't a spin session. I'm not spinning you off in the distance, right? Yes, okay. Question, when does the raffle take place? Was it a little difficult for me to make out what you were saying with the background music? Okay, sorry about that. What was that question? Yeah, the winner will be announced on February 29th. So if you sign up tonight, you actually get 2 entries into this raffle tonight. If you sign up by midnight Eastern Standard Time tonight, you'll get 2 entries into this raffle. If you purchase at any other time, you'll get 1. Then if you purchase any of the upsells or anything that's going on afterwards, you'll get additional entries as well. Egypt already paid for. You might as well start paying for Brazil in 2025. What happened to trip to Ethiopia? Yes, Ethiopia is on. Hey, we're going to 10 trips. We're going to 10 countries in 2024 and 2025. Ethiopia, Brazil, Morocco, Nigeria, Ghana, Egypt, Tanzania, South Africa, Brazil, Colombia. We're working on Cuba and a few others, right? Spain, Portugal, all of that. What are the dates of the trips? That is a good question. We have 2 dates available. One second. Let me pull up the dates. Jasmine, do you have the dates handy? Dates. I got you on the dates. Any other questions? I'm pulling up the dates. I just made my order, so that should be 2 attendance entries. Yes, plus 5 entries in order for a total of 7, correct? Anita, if you purchase additional items, yes, that is definitely, you'll get 2 for today, and then any of the additional purchases, you'll definitely get your additional. I just can't say yes because I don't know exactly what you purchased, right? But yes, if you counted them, yeah, that was our Zoom user. What did I say? Oh, Anita. Okay, that was you, Anita. All right, this is awesome, and I ordered my cards and ready to learn. This is a great gift in itself. The trip is extra. Absolutely. Thank you for that, Zoom user. Yeah, and I mentioned we talk about the same 8 to 12 individuals inside of Black History. If you just got the deck of 5 of our Black History flashcards, right? I got one right here with me. There's 52 cards in each series, right? And there's 5 series, so there's 5 different decks to this. 52 times 5 is 260. If you just rock with us at Urban Intellectuals, you can introduce 260 individuals into your life, your children's life, your grandchildren's life, just with the 5-deck bundle, right? This ain't even got off into any of our other discussions about history and culture as we continue to expand this conversation. But we are a global people, and that's what we're trying to show with our history and our understanding. I promise Ghana dates are coming. I'm just running my mouth. All right, so 2024, we are looking at August 8th through the 16th or October 6th through the 14th. Those are the 2 dates that we're playing with for now. This is an all-inclusive trip. New playing cards are outstanding. Glad you love it. Okay, no, it's not all-inclusive. Some of the meals are paid for, but it's primarily breakfast is paid for, and then you're responsible for lunch and dinner. And then any of your shopping or all of that, right? But your hotel, lodging, your domestic travel. Oh, that is a good question. Yeah, so you'll see it on the clarification on the payments. But whomever the winner is, you're going to have to pay for your international airfare. So you just have to fly into Accra, Ghana. And then once you get there, everything is taken care of after that. I have the flashcards and the classes. I love it. Ordered previously, shared the school principal last year. I love that. Ghana trip in August, or October 2024. I'm an avid Bid Wish player, but I will not play with these cards I used them to educate others. I love it. Hey, folks are serious about their cards. I love it. I promise they can stand up. I'll just slap some spades with them. They can stand up. And they're talking about our Black History playing cards, about Urban Intellectuals. Actually, 2 series right now. Bang. Right? Black History playing cards. Right? So we have a black and maroon series right now. There are more of those coming as well. Yes, the trip is worth $5,000. Absolutely. Yes, it's going to be an amazing trip for whomever the winner is. Can you mention the visa process too? Yeah, Gary. The visa process, we need about 3 months, 2-3 months leading up to the visa process, but we'll hold your hand and walk you through some videos showing you how to fill that out. It's pretty simple. It's a little, I'm gonna be honest with you, it's a little nerve-wracking, right? I don't like to send off my visa. I like to always have my visa. When I travel, my visa is on, it's my visa, my passport. I don't like to give up my passport. So when we travel, like my passport is always on me. I don't care where we going, I got it on me, right? So part of the visa process with going to Ghana, you have to mail your passport in to the Ghanaian embassy in DC. And it's a little unsettling for me. I don't like that. But it came back, they mailed it back, everything happens, but we'll walk you through that process. It's fairly simple. It's just a little nerve wracking, and maybe I'm over exaggerating just because I don't like to give up my visa, but it could be that. How do we sign up for the Sankofa Club? You can go to sankofaclub.com. Jasmine, can you drop that link? Here you go, Lauren. I think I got it. Nope, I don't got it. There we go. sankofaclub.com. Yeah, you can check that out. #1 Black History Club for Children. Mentioned the visa process. Yes, just completed mine. Oh, okay, good job, Gary. I have family in Ghana and Nigeria I've never met. Are these two separate trips? Yes, Lilia, those are two separate trips. We're not going to Nigeria until 2025. But yes, gonna be a great trip. I can't wait to get there. Can you repeat the trip dates? Yes. Ghana, August 8th through the 16th. And Ghana, October 6th through the 14th. 8th through the 16th in August, 6th through the 14th in October. You're welcome, Lauren. Appreciate you. Thank you. Can we order the playing cards with the 5-deck package? Yes. Bam. Thank you, Jasmine. I was definitely gonna ask you that too. All right. Esther, do you have a question? I'm sorry, I just seen your hand up here. I don't know how long it's been on. All right, yeah. Any other questions? If I won the trip, could the trip be taken in 2025 instead? Electra, we had planned for these 2024 trips. Let's cross the bridge when you win, right? We planned on the 2024 trip just because of how we were planning things, but we definitely wanted to send the person sooner than later, right? So that we can have evidence that we sent the young woman or young man on the trip, and to have that experience so we could document it sooner than later. So the winner of the free trip to Ghana, yes, you got to pay for your flight there. That's the only cost. Placed an order, also received my box with 2 bingo games last week. Hey, Willie, appreciate you. All right, glad you got the bingo. Hopefully you enjoy it. That is definitely becoming one of our best sellers. And when we can keep it in stock, that is. You can get a visa at the airport. In Ghana, I had to do it for the boys, $250 cash. Woo! Hey, yeah, I've heard that you can sign up at the airport, that you can get the visa when you land. I don't know. I'm a nervous traveler. I don't know if y'all follow me. I might look comfortable when we traveling and all of that, but I'm a nervous traveler. I don't like to leave things to chance. So I like to take care of things early if I can. Got my playing cards today. All right, Gwendolyn, appreciate you for the support. How do we apply for trips? What does that mean, Barbara? Can you elaborate on that? How do we apply for trips? You want to come on and unmute yourself and just add, oh, if I don't win. Okay. Good question. If you're on urbanintellectuals.com, you can just click travel, or you can go to uitravelmovement.com. So when you make your purchase, you're going to get that $100 off raffle, and then there'll be correspondence about it all. But UI Travel Movement, you can go to uitravelmovement.com, and it'll take you to our site, Travel Movement. Yeah, I guess I got to do the www. UI Travel. There we go. Yeah, so that'll take you to our travel site. You can see all of the places that we travel. And if you have any questions, you can either call the phone number or shoot an email. Sister Ashley is our travel coordinator. She would more than likely be the one that will follow up if you have any specific questions after that. But yeah, we are sending people to the continent on a consistent basis. But you're welcome, Barbara. We're definitely doubling down on expanding the conversation around history and culture with our community, right? It makes no sense that we keep talking about these same 8 to 12 individuals when I just let you know Urban Intellectuals inside of our 5-deck bundle has 260 individuals people, places, and things available for you, and events available for you already. Hey, Tia, thank you. Good night. Yes, but as Jasmine said, you still get the $100 travel voucher whether you win or not. But you will have that to use inside the Urban Intellectuals Travel Movement, so you can use that as well. You get the $10 store credit. So next time that you come back, you can get $10 off whatever it is that you're purchasing. You're going to get all 5 editions of the Black History flashcards. You get the free classes, our Loving Ourselves, Our History, and Our Culture. And you're going to get 2 entries into our raffle for Africa. All right. What date is the next Zoom again? February 19th is the date of the next Zoom. Hey, man, I'm telling you, you don't want to miss this one. I'm really excited for this one. I haven't presented this information anywhere yet. And I'm really excited about it. Like, I'm really excited about it. And then how we gonna follow that up? I don't know, later this year. I'll give you a little bit of that. I want to take a deep dive into colonization, and I want to show you what colonization looked like on that side of Africa and run it in parallel with what's going on with us here today. Because I think it's a very important point that just like you don't know what happened over there, they don't know what happened over here. Right? This is why somebody can stand in the middle and tell both of us nonsense and misdirection, and neither one of us can really call them out because you don't know the full story. Right? Now, I got back here on my wall, I still ain't got my wall up, but Dr. John Henry Clark always said, y'all, if you follow me, you'll hear me say this name a gazillion times. But Dr. Clark says you should never discuss something until you understand how the situation came to be. And I find that we be out talking a lot, but we don't really got a thorough understanding of the history. You don't understand what transpired leading up to that moment, and you're just talking. And you could be talking against yourself. You could be killing yourself. You could just be talking in circles and talking utter nonsense, which is what we mostly do because we just don't know what happened. We speculate. We listen to other people. We listen to other cultures tell us how something else happened. All you gotta do is just go find out right quick, and you can straighten all of that out, right? So that's something like that's a mission that I have, and we've been talking about it internally about this next part. But let the 19th happen. Let me get this out first, and then I'm gonna come back with this colonization piece. And I'm super excited, man. I just think it's gonna be great. Freddie, applying our information for trips is for UI, or do we get to go? Yeah, it's for UI. You'll be coming with us. Yeah, Vivian, we work together with Maximum Impact. Jay is our travel partner, right? So we make all of this happen together. So yeah, it's a collaborative effort. Jay Cameron is my guy. That's a really good friend. I'm actually about to see him in about 2 weeks, less than 2 weeks, actually. Next week. Oh man, it's next week. Yeah, so we're gonna be together in Atlanta next week. Great. August 15th, 24. Yes, I can travel to Ghana and meet my family DNA relatives and that I've never met before. So exciting trying to get siblings together for this trip. Thank you. All right, Leah. Excellent. I'm looking forward to seeing your experience. Please share it with us. I would love to see that experience. Thanks for all that you do. Black History Trip Opportunities. All right, Electra, we appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you for always being a supporter, sister. That's excellent. Excellent. All right. Any other questions for me? I'm going to give us 2 products for us to purchase. With that link, 5 deck and bingo, they are not separate links. Let's see additional products. Please advise. Yes. Okay. All right. So you explain that. Yeah. So when you get an opportunity, you go ahead and sign up and get this 5 deck bundle before midnight because you want to get your 2 raffle tickets to win. In Africa, you're going to see an opportunity to buy the 5 deck bundle, and then you can grab and add Steam Bingo on top of that as an order bump. But then after you click submit and you go through that, we're going to offer you a few other things. And if the more that you pick up, the more entries that you will get. Like you saw the sister say earlier, hey, I got my 2 entries from today, and I got 5 additional purchases, so I should get 7 entries into the trip to Africa, right? Yes, absolutely. That is absolutely right. Where's the itinerary? Detroit. It is on the site. So if you go to urbanintellectuals.com and click travel, you can click Ghana and you'll see. Let me just pull up one for you. How about that? How about we do that? Y'all stick with me in 1 second. Let me just pull up. Let's pull up the Ghana travel, right? Bang. Yeah, check out the replay. But here is, so you're going to see it. This is where you would book if you were going to go on that particular trip. So this gives you all of the details. Let me just drop a link. So if you want to see all the details yourself, let me just drop a link here. How do I get everyone? There we go. Yeah, so you can click that link and it'll take you to what you see on the screen. And you can see all of the information here. Get any and all of the questions that you need. You can see the pricing and all of that. But here's the itinerary. You're going to arrive in Ghana. We're going to have a historical, we're going to take a historical trip there in Accra. That was good, Brother Jay. We're going to take a flight. So there's a domestic flight that we'll take to Kumasi, which is in like the center of the country. That's where you get your naming ceremony. We'll learn about the Ashanti people in the village. So we'll understand all of that. You're going to have a botanical gardens trip. Something about Ghana I had no idea about, but the vile nature and the history behind it and what these Europeans were doing is all sickening. Then we're going to go to Cape Coast. We're going to spend the day out there, spend the overnight trip going to the dungeons out there, having that experience. We're going to do Cocoon Canopy Park, going to have a good time there. Of course, you got to do some shopping in Oxford. We're going to stay in some really nice hotels. Shy Hills Reserve has a very unique history and one that's often overlooked. You'll get an opportunity. Then the last day we have our tour ends. We have our, goodbye dinners and all of that good stuff. But yeah, overall a wonderful trip. You'll be safe. You'll be secured. You'll be entertained. You'll be blown away. You'll have some fine dining. You'll have some authentic food. You'll have authentic ceremonies, experiences. There is time to shop. I've learned that I gotta mention that. My people like to travel and shop. That was something I wasn't aware of before we did this, but I get it now, right? So definitely bring your wallets. American Express isn't as much accepted there as Visa and MasterCard, but we would encourage the cash. We'll let you know, right? Like we'll let you know when you can spend. You can swipe, or if you just want to have the cash, we're going to help you with the transfer of the currencies and all of that, right? So we'll definitely be holding your hand throughout the process. With daily tours, or do we have independent time? The tour is definitely planned. There's daily tours and everything, but we recognize that people, you're an adult, right? So if you don't want to go on a particular day and you want to do whatever you want to hang back at the hotel, it's totally your experience. We've had people stay at the hotel because they have friends in the area. And then they go out and hang with friends for a day or two, and then they get back on the tour. It's all fine as long as you let us know, and you're okay with being away from the group, right? We believe in there's safety in numbers. This is why there is a Discord system regarding how we feel about each other. I'm happy that is changing. We are, some people are just ill-informed, right? And we don't know about our backgrounds. We don't know what we've been through. We've been lied to a lot. We've been deceived. A lot of people smile in our face and tell us lies about our brothers and sisters across the water. Somebody was inboxing me a question, so that's what I was kind of addressing. In Kumasi, do you buy a stew? How can it be shipped to the U.S.? Yeah, you can buy a stool if you want to, Vivian. You can buy whatever you want to buy, right? But they have UPS or something comparable that you can ship with. But we'll just have to arrange that. So if you buy something of large size, you just let us know. It's totally been done. I don't know if y'all seen like my living room. We were in Egypt and like we done bought these big wall pieces for our living room and all of that. Like you can definitely buy whatever you want. Handicap accessible, yes. Um, yeah, vegan accessible. I know that's always a big question. The vegans and the vegetarians want to know, can they eat? Yes, absolutely. Probably better than you can eat here because the food is actually real. Yeah. So, all right, what other questions do y'all have for me? Did I answer everything? Jasmine, how are we looking? I should have been chatting with you somewhere, but I just realized I never even looked to see if you were saying anything to me. I don't see much. Okay. All right. How y'all feeling? Let's go. All right. So urbanintellectuals.com slash Black History Month 2024. There we go. That's what I was looking for. Jasmine, can you drop that down one more time? Sorry, I had problems getting on. The replay will be mailed out. Yes. Got the Kamasi question. Looking good. Okay. That's correct. Yes. Food is good and clean. It's outstanding. Thank you so much. Appreciate you, Tia. Looking forward to February 19th as well, getting involved in the raffle. Good night. Yeah, all right, Tia, good luck and good night to you. February 19th, I'm going to kill it, man. Pay attention to our social media, though, leading up to it, because I'll start dripping some of the hints and maybe even a little bit of the content. Is there a lot of walking considering elderly travelers? There is a good bit of movement, but you are always welcome to sit out whatever pieces that you might want to. It's like I know the Cocoon Canopy part, right? Like we had to walk up, like it was a trek. It was a pretty good trek. But I'll say this, Mr. Jim is 86 years old. He was up and down that thing. Mr. Jim's in pretty good shape, right? But his sister-in-law, she was a little slower. Some people had like a walker. They were making it. They were taking their time. Like we'll wait. People will wait with you. If you get to a point where you're like, I just need to go back. One young lady decided not to go at all, so she's just sat at the beginning. And people sat with her. We'll never leave you alone, no matter what you decide. If you decide to tap out and something's just too much, you're just having a bad day, you always can opt out. Some days are lighter than others. Some days you just can't miss though. But going into the dungeons, you can't miss that. That's not a lot of walking on those particular days, right? Directly. So I think you would be all right for the big stuff. You might miss the canopy walk. Shy Hills Reserves, we get into a little bit of climbing, but you can come into a place and then just not climb up the thing, right? Like the other young lady did, right? So that's definitely an option. But we definitely cater to our elders. Ghana trip is twice in 2024. Yeah, there are two 2024 trips. We actually go 4 or 5 times in 2024, right? So we go to a lot of these places a lot, right? So we're bringing different groups. So we just made 2 offers in Ghana, right? So you can go in August or you can go in October. That's what this particular 2024 trip is. Yes, Corey, thank you for everybody for coming out. We appreciate y'all, absolutely. Yeah, appreciate y'all. I'm visually impaired and did the canopy walk. Yeah, Barbara, thank you for that. Yeah, visually impaired and did the canopy walk, right? So it's definitely possible, and we'll definitely take care of you. And if it's too much, it's too much. We'll just back up. Let's just communicate, right? My dad has been on these trips. Like I said, he's 93 years old. He's trying to get on another. He's 94 now. Hopefully he makes it. I know he wants to go to Nigeria. I know he wants to go to everywhere. Ethiopia, he want to go all these trips. So if he's up for it, I'm up for it. I'm definitely going with it. I'm riding. My wife already know. Dad call, I'm out. That's my man. No questions asked, right? All right, y'all got any other questions for me? I did pretty good on time. Thank you, Freddie, doing what you're doing. Yes, thank you, sister. Appreciate you for assisting as usual. And always here right now with us, our world changer, Corey Bishop. I enjoyed tonight. Keep on doing it. Hey, thank you. Yeah, Cecily, I appreciate you. See you February 8th in Cairo. All right, Gary, I'm gonna need to see all these pictures and videos, man, because I know you're excited. I'm loving it. When is the rainy season? That's a good question. Alexa, I mean, look, maybe just ask Alexa. She knows. Alexa, when is the rainy season in Ghana?
The rainy season in Ghana typically lasts from April to October, with the heaviest rainfall occurring in June and July.
April to October. That's a long rainy season, but it doesn't rain continuously because I've been there during those times and I've never experienced the rain. So it's just, I guess, it's just like weather. You just kind of got to get lucky. We'll spread the word. This was good for us. All right, Roz, I appreciate you. Thank you. Appreciate it. Do you have a Facebook group? Yeah, we have a couple of them. You can definitely get with our travel Facebook group. I'm gonna drop two Facebook groups down here. One is our travel group. If you're looking for it, you can just search Urban Intellectuals Travel Movement. But this is the link to that particular group. Hey, thank y'all. I appreciate y'all joining us on this MLK Day. And then my second group is our Raising Proud Black Children's group. We have a group for our Urban Intellectual store, but it's really for just our VIP customers. So you got to kind of earn to get into that particular group by supporting the mission and the cause. Then you will get an email invite. Shipping is not coming up with the free option. Sandra, hey, Jasmine, can you help Sandra to see what might be going wrong for them? Because she should definitely get free shipping. So we want to make sure that we're going to take care of that. Sandra, worst case scenario, Jasmine to get your email address. So Jasmine, if you could start contacting her, or maybe inbox, or what do you call it, direct message her and get her email. Sandra will follow up and make sure that we get that, and take a note that you were trying to purchase tonight, so we make sure you get your 2 entries. There you go. All right, Sandra, Jasmine's going to inbox you or direct message you. Thank you so much. Appreciate your team and your mission. All right, TK, appreciate you. Thank you, man. Thank y'all for being with us tonight. Thank you for giving me 2 hours of your time and lean into this pre-Black History Month celebration right as we began to kick it off. So hopefully I filled your head with a little bit of Black history information and encouragement and enthusiasm to make sure that it inspires you to spread this message. Hopefully you take advantage of our special offer to grab the history and culture with our Black History flashcards, but gain your opportunity to come to Africa with us and being one of the 1,000 people who have an opportunity to win this free trip. And I got to tell you, I can't wait to give it away. And mainly because most people just be talking, right? Most people just be flapping their gums, but I know that Urban Intellectual is our team, and y'all will see me talking, but our team is deep. It's about 10 of us that are, well, it's actually more than that. But there's about 15 of us, right? Including our teachers, our world changers that are really building and pushing this thing, that are serious about this work, right? We're doing important work. Right? I didn't write that on the slide because it sounded good. I wrote that because it's a core value and something that we believe inside of our company. We are doing important work, but I know that we are supporting people that are doing important work, right? That's what makes us all special, especially for being here tonight. You're welcome, Patricia. Patricia, appreciate you. All right, got a couple of more questions. When I check it out, I will automatically discount 1 adult for free. I'm traveling with 2. Okay, thank you. Yes, trying to book now. There are no options for children under 5. Are they free? Yes. Okay, yeah, children under 5 are free for the trip. All right, Sonic, welcome to Africa, right? Coming with us. Yes. Excellent, excellent. I don't know if I mentioned that, but yeah, Yeah, making our ancestors proud, right, Vivian? Yeah, we got work to do, right? Good night, Corey. Appreciate you. Can you order other items tonight besides the Steam Bingo games with this offer? Yes, Sheila. When you go ahead and offer, you get the 5 deck. You just go ahead and click submit like you're going through. Good old Urban Intellectuals fashion. Another surprise offer is going to pop up. And actually, there's going to be a few of them. The more of those that you purchase, the more additional entries that you will get. Hopefully, you caught that, Sheila. I think I got that. Excellent. All right. Appreciate you, sister. Thank you as well. All right. I am here for y'all. If y'all got any additional questions, you're welcome, Sheila. Yes, go ahead and check out, and the additional offers will pop up. Yep. Okay. Jasmine just verified that for me. I think I mentioned it, but Jasmine is our coordinator, our e-commerce coordinator. Jasmine, how you like that? We working on the title. She's our e-commerce coordinator and specialist, so she's definitely involved in all of this. So sometimes you'll hear me defer to the teammate. Yeah, come on, e-commerce coordinator. I love it. You see me defer to the teammate, but they work with these positions, this stuff each and every day. So they have a far better expertise than I do about the day-to-day and how it works. So I definitely like to defer to them. I appreciate my team. Yeah, she was on it tonight. Yeah. Thank you, Cecily. She definitely was. Phone numbers we can use directly. They're at the top of the site. So when you go to Urban Intellectuals, you'll see a phone number at the top. Of course, I can't find it now. Bam, there we go. 312-765-3103. Oh, wait. 312-765-3701. I don't call. It's like that. I don't call myself, so I don't know my number. Let me drop that down for you. I'm sorry, I did just rattle it off. All right. You're welcome. Here is the phone number, but it's at the top of the site. So when you go to the site, you'll see our phone number. That's a very big thing, right? My team and I, we don't take that lightly. I have to let them know. I say, look, Black folks need to know that they can call you. I got something going on. I need to know I can pick up the phone. I need to talk to somebody, right? So that was a very big step. Some we added later last year, but I'm pretty proud of it. Okay, yeah, thank you. Very interesting and exciting. Thank you, Claudia. I appreciate y'all. Hey, thank y'all for spending the evening with us. I think we're winding down on the questions, so I'm gonna run up out of here. Give y'all an opportunity to enjoy y'all night on this MLK Day. So hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully we gave y'all a little bit of information. Hopefully you'll jump in and take this offer up with us and have a great Black History Month, starting with some terrific information, and get your raffle ticket so that you can have a chance to win a free trip to Africa, right? You have a t-shirt. Barbara said, okay, Barbara, can you send me, Barbara, drop me your email address. I need that too. Order submitted did not show the correct order. Sheila, can you screenshot whatever you got or whatever the misinformation was? And Jasmine, can you follow up with Sheila? All right, so I'm waiting on Barbara's email and Sheila. Jasmine, can you contact Sheila? Make sure that, there we go. Share your email with Jasmine, Sheila, and we'll make sure that we get it sorted out. All right, and Barbara, I got your email. I am going to send this to Jasmine right now. Because I ain't going to tell on myself, y'all, but if I don't do this right now, I might be in trouble. Barbara, go get me. So I'm going to send this to Jasmine right now, Miss Barbara. I'm gonna take the time while we in front of me. I'm gonna send your email back, and Hey, I'm seasoned, right? I got enough seasoning to be I gotta handle it right now. All right, bang. I got that for Ashley. Let's see. Bang. All right. So at least we can pick it up in the morning. Our office was closed today for MLK Day. So shout out to Jasmine for jumping in and working on MLK Day, working in the evening. So Jasmine, I appreciate you for doing that as well. I'll be sure to forget to shout you out at the morning. No, I'm just kidding. Oh, I'll be cracking me up. Okay, Sheila just dropped her email address. You got that, Jasmine? I could grab that just in case. All right. Bang. I even sent that to Jasmine, Sheila. So I am clean for the night so far. All right. Yeah, good night. I appreciate y'all joining us. I'm going to go ahead and run up out of here. I'm going to let Jasmine get off and enjoy her night. Thank you again, sister, for stepping in tonight and for all that you do. I appreciate all of y'all for hanging out with us this evening as we talked about this big Montgomery energy and keeping it going and building our history and our culture. And knowing that, keeping it going, remembering that it's been going strong. So these flashes have been cute. Let's make sure that we sustain this in our community and expand the conversation to inspire not only ourselves, but our youth and our community to be bigger, better versions of themselves. So once again, for Urban Intellectuals, Sister Jasmine, myself and the rest of the team, thank all of y'all for being with us tonight. Hey, remember the Underground Railroad is still open, right? And we are ushering hearts, minds, and souls into freedom. So I appreciate y'all. Good night, everybody. The replay will go out in the morning.